In this video, I'm going to talk about the camera release that I've been thinking about the most recently. Actually, so far I have hardly ever sold my equipment. So I think I should make money by working more while selling some equipment rather than making money by selling it, because I have almost all of the selected equipment so far. But this time Alpha Mark II and Ipalchigong came out because they have their price range. This means that it is no longer easy to cover this cost. So what I was worried about is that among the things I have to release them now. But what I used before the Alpha Mark II came out was the Alpha 1. And now the Alpha 7, Alpha 5, Jet V, 2, 3 were my main models. Sometimes I shoot videos with 2 circles. Sometimes I take an Alpha 5, and sometimes I take an Alpha 1. But in fact, if we assume that we are buying an Alpha Mark II here, the most substitute is actually a Jet V2 circles. Releasing Jet V Li 1 is the least emotional burden, but even if you release Li 1, it means that the money is not much. Then I have to release one of Alpha 1 and Alpha 5 here, which is a bit costly. Actually, I have to release all 3. But then I can't use it as a single body. So I thought it would be a bit less costly if I left Li 1 and released one of Alpha 1 and Alpha 5. So I thought about it. Then do you leave Alpha 1? Leave an Alfie? People are really curious about what I'm going to release now. But I've been thinking realistically. Actually, I don't want to give up Alpha 1. Because I spent a lot of money and worked so hard to buy my precious Alpha. I thought if I bought this, I wouldn't have to buy a real camera for a while. But I'm Alpha 1. But let's release Alpha 5. So when I actually purchased Alpha Market, it was Alpha 1 that replaced it. If you look at whether it can replace that Alpha 5, it can be replaced to some extent, but there are some parts that cannot. There are some things that can't replace Alpha and Marked, because the quality of the result itself is actually better than Alphabet, so those parts are next. If you use Alpha 1 and now Alpha Mark II, you will not touch Alpha 1 more and more, because it's not a LCD or this cousin multi-angle, and there's no soft skin, so in the end, I don't think I'll use Alpha on and only use it when filming a performance. If you usually use something like soft skin or multi-angle LCD, then Alphabet is actually. The part that says it has more value of use when left behind, and then that it cannot be replaced by Alpha 1 Market. So for now, my mind decided to release Alpha 1. But I made up my mind, but it's not easy, so why not sell it now? I'm also a SIPS, but if I want to maintain SIPS, I have to have a registered model or something like that, but now it's for me. I don't know what I registered, but this can be a Jet V, and if Alpha 1 is released, I don't remember if the Alpha 7 series is fully registered with me, because there is Alpha 7, there is 7 II, and something like this, but I originally gave this to my brother and said this. So as far as I remember, it was not registered. Well, if you take something and register it, there are things like this. But because we maintain SRPS, the ones registered are Alpha 1 and Alpha 5. Yes, you can fill in other things like Alpha 900 or something like that. But then if our wife wants to register with SRPS, she needs to have a certain body count. So because of that, I haven't released it yet, but I have an idea that after I buy Alpha and Marcotte soon, I will release Alpha on. There are people who are curious about the conclusion of my thoughts right now, so I took a video of you. I don't know when I will buy Alpha Mark II in the future, but I will let you know when I do. Please support me a lot. Thank you, I'll finish.